Hello and welcome to this short breath tutorial for the style of breath that we're going to use for the majority of the breath sessions inside of the Venus retrograde 44-day online breath circle. So there are many names for this. The lineage I'm trained in is called breath wave, and you'll see why in just a moment when I demonstrate the breath. It's because it looks like a wave in your body. Other names for this are transformational breath. I love the term conscious connected breathing because essentially what we're doing is connecting the inhale with the exhale and the exhale with the inhale where there's no pause. And so it's just a continuous circular breath. Shamanic breath work is another word for this. Wim Hof is a pretty similar style as well. So the one that I'm going to teach you today, you can do in and out through the nose or in and out through the mouth. Now in our sessions, when I facilitate and guide you, and I'll be able to see you on the camera and correct your breath, I'm going to encourage you, as long as there aren't any heart conditions, so high blood pressure, high heart rate, things like that, to do this in and out through the mouth. It's a little bit more activating. You can get to expanded states of consciousness by doing this over time. Now, that's not the point. I think the first point or objective with using this breath is actually that it helps you regulate your nervous system. So it helps you relax on the exhale. It helps you, we're going to stimulate the vagus nerve essentially, which is with a pattern, breathing like this, stimulating the vagus nerve over and over and over again. It helps retrain our bodies to rest, to get in that relaxed, rest and digest parasympathetic state. So 5 to 10 breaths a day is plenty. This breath is not recommended at all in more than 5 minutes on your own if you haven't breathed with a facilitator or a guide. Because it can induce altered states of consciousness. It can take you to places where you might have memory recall, you might get into a trauma state. So we don't want to do that on our own, especially if you're not self-regulated, if you don't have a very regulated nervous system. So even myself, I've been breathing for 12 years, and I really love to breathe with a facilitator or guide because there are so many things in this breath that will, on a daily basis, will show you where you're holding on. We're all holding on to emotions or thought patterns. Our body's conditioned to react, breathe in a certain way. So this breath helps us undo a lot of the patterning, undo the conditioning, just on a physical level. And then it translates into the subtle bodies as well. So it's beautiful. We can breathe consciously and heal trauma, release patterns that are keeping us in a stressed out holding pattern. So we're not expressing ourselves fully in the world. We're always like on alert when we're in a holding pattern. So this can undo some of that without having to really think about it or process it mentally. So I love the breath. We just breathe and heal and breathe and heal. So emotions can definitely come up. Emotions tend to come up pretty quickly for people who can drop into this breath pretty, surrender to it. It's not always the case, but it can be pretty common, especially in the beginning, or if we have something that's happening in our life that's inducing a lot of emotions. So that's all normal. So let me explain it to you, and then I'll show it to you, and then I'll let you practice it on your own. And again, I invite you to come into the breath circle, join me in this transit over the summer of 2023, and intentionally, consciously breathe daily or as much as you can make it. You're going to have all of the recorded videos there, and you're going to have some longer breath sessions as well that you can go back to once you've breathed with me a few times. The longer sessions are amazing. You can get into these deep spiritually connected states, which in my opinion is just downloading information. We can do a lot of healing on the more subtle levels. We can have emotional catharsis, which we don't let ourselves do on a daily basis. Now, not that that's going to happen for sure, but it certainly can help us stay current with our emotional body. It helps us repattern our thinking, repattern our nervous system on the physiological level. And so much happens when we can be on the subtle level in terms of healing our bodies. So much happens when we can be in a more relaxed state. So here's what to know about this breath. We breathe into our belly, we breathe into our chest, and we let go on the exhale. So it happens in a connected way. So we don't want to breathe all of our air in, pause, and then exhale. Pause, and then inhale. So I'm going to demonstrate, and then you can practice it with me. Okay, so okay. So that's what it looks like. Your mouth can get pretty dry. It's really hot in this room right now. You might see me start to sweat. But that's it. So let's try 5 breaths together and just do it. There's no perfection in this at all. It's correcting it on a daily basis and practicing it over and over and over. So like I said, 5 to 10 breaths is great. Obviously in the beginning when you're getting used to it, breathing for a longer time with a facilitator is a great idea, because then I can correct your breath. I can tell you, how to improve little mental tricks in your own breath pattern that'll help you breathe into different parts of your body that you might not be breathing into, and how to relax on the exhale. So it's always advised to do this with a facilitator or guide, but I also believe that this is a really, really powerful breath that anyone can do and learn on their own, and do 5, 10, 15 breaths a day and really have it make significant differences when practiced consistently on your nervous system health. Okay, so come into a seated position. Roll your shoulders back. Take a relaxing breath. So we're going to start to breathe in and out through our mouth, breathing into the belly, chest, and relaxing on the inhale. Exhale. Good. Really good. You're probably hearing the sound of my exhale. Ideally, you don't want to be making any sound on the exhale. So mental tricks to bring yourself into a silent exhale are relaxing the back of your throat, relaxing the tongue, relaxing your jaw, relaxing your neck muscles if you can. So it even takes me a few breaths to find that wave. Now I'm on my back. You're welcome to get on your back or just watch this tutorial and see the wave in my body. So you can do this again, sitting up like we just did, or laying down. Let's take a cleansing breath. You'll notice I'm on a bolster. It's important to have your lower back, your hips, your abdomen really comfortable. So a lot of people prefer bolsters just because it helps relax the belly, relax the lower back. You want to be relaxed for this breath, again, to induce a state of relaxation and letting go on the exhale. Okay, so watch my body. You're going to start to see the wave as I breathe into my lower abdomen, my belly, essentially the diaphragm and lower lungs, all the way up to my chest, and then I'll start the relaxed exhale before I'm done completely breathing or filling up my body with air. Good. So If your throat gets dry, your mouth gets dry, you can pause, swallow, and just come back to the breath, depending on how long you're doing your practice. So there's two things I want to tell you that are the most common mistakes I see people make. You don't want to be using your muscles at all to breathe in and create that wave pattern. So I see a lot of people do this. That's the wrong way to do it. So you want to just keep your muscles relaxed and create that wave by just breathing, by just breathing. So you're going to breathe into your lower abdomen. Creating the wave with just your inhale. Another thing that people are doing on a consistent basis is controlling on the exhale. Everyone's doing this. So I encourage you to use or try using a weight on your belly. Now, this is a little bit too big because it's kind of hitting my hip bones and my ribs, so I'm not going to be able to get into my abdomen really well like I would be with a sandbag, or honestly just go to the river and get a rock. So about 8 to 10 pounds is what you want, and you want to put it right on your belly, and I like to put it right up against my ribs so I can kind of help myself exhale. So it's going to look like this. Good. And you'll start to retrain your body just by nature of having weight on your belly, how to relax on the exhale. So you don't need to put as much effort into it or as much focus and tension to the exhale. Again, a lot of us are exhaling, controlling the exhale. So we're or we don't want to be making that much sound, and we certainly don't want to be flexing on our abdominal muscles on the exhale. Okay, so that's all. I'm going to leave you with that. Go have fun with it. It doesn't need to be perfect. Use my tutorials. Come back to this video over and over and over just to practice. Do as best you can. 5 to 10 breaths, like I said, is enough. It takes a while to be able to train our bodies into breaking all of the patterns that we've created for ourselves. So all of the holding patterns. It's also really nice to be aware of that on a daily basis, your breath is going to look differently. So we have things come up. Life gives us things to work on a daily basis, and our breath is going to show us exactly where to correct our holding patterns. Okay? So breathe with a facilitator. Come and get guidance from myself, or if you have another facilitator, breathe with them as well. It's really helpful. It's nice to have someone watching our bodies from the outside and helping us catch our breath patterns so that we can just concentrate on the breathing and the relaxation, and we can have a facilitator there helping correct our bodies and are giving us new mental tips to bring breath into the body where we're not breathing in too fully, or to relax and allow ourselves to bring safety and surrender to the exhale. All right. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Like I said, join me inside the Venus Retrograde 44-day online breath circle, where you'll have an entire community of like-minded people to connect with. You'll have myself as your guide and facilitator throughout that time. I have a lot of surprises for you, probably some guest practitioners coming in, some longer breath sessions as well, and I'll be able to give you feedback inside of that circle. So I'll see you in there. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon.